have established your matrimonial property on an inherited piece of land. You have converted that piece of land or that property into a matrimonial property.
Welcome to today's episode of Real Estate in Kenya. My name is Sarah Wahogo, CEO at Username Properties Limited. Today we will be answering follow-up questions from the matrimonial properties video.
Yes,
Viewers asked many questions.
it would be expected.
Yeah, looks like this one is a very contentious kind of discussion.
I think, as we said last time, affairs of heart
Yes.
are dear to people.
Yeah, they are very close. Yeah, and we could tell from the interactions with the video, the questions, the comments. So one of the questions asked is very funny.
Yes.
And someone is asking, is winning the SportPesa jackpot considered a matrimonial property?
Remember last time we said that bottom line is contribution. So if you place a bet with your own individual money without contribution of your spouse, then yes, that is your own individual money. However, if the other spouse contributed to the bet, to the money you used to place the bet, and you eventually won, then that becomes a joint contribution and therefore matrimonial property. Then the winnings may be also affected by how you apply the funds you have won. Let's say you have won the 5 million or 10 million, and then you use that money to acquire a property and build your matrimonial home. You see, now that has now converted your own individual winnings to joint ownership of a home for your family, and then that becomes matrimonial property. So the key word is contribution and the intention.
Yeah.
Yes. So if I money from my own sources, not from jointly held funds, I use it to place a bet and win, then that becomes mine solely. Money from a joint account or joint proceeds of business, then or contribution from your spouse, then that becomes matrimonial property. Then even if the money was solely used, and I mean solely acquired and used to place the bet, then used to acquire a property for the family or matrimonial, then that becomes matrimonial property.
The next question, this question is two in one. Number one, the viewer says, let's say that we have built a house on inherited land
Yes.
and have lived in the house for many years.
Yes.
Will it still be considered matrimonial property?
Yes, because the key thing is, other than contribution, is the intention. Yes, the moment now you have established your matrimonial property on an inherited piece of land, you have converted that piece of land or that property into a matrimonial property, because the other spouse uh, contributes to development or invests in that property, knowing now that it is a jointly owned property, and therefore you cannot disregard their contribution, whether monetary or non-monetary, notwithstanding that the property is inherited. Yes.
Part B of that question reads, who inherits the land in case there is no will and it is the only home siblings know of? So I'm assuming these siblings should be children.
Yes. When there is no will, of course, the matrimonial property would go to the spouse, to the surviving spouse. Okay, then if there is no surviving spouse, it goes to children. Of course, now if the children have nowhere else to go, then of course they become also entitled to that property. Yes, but matrimonial property primarily should be inherited by the surviving spouse.
Okay, the next question. Can inherited property become matrimonial property if you both live in it?
I think we have answered that question, and
Okay.
we have the answer we have given. It is yes, because once you establish a matrimonial home in an inherited property, you are creating rights for the other party.
Okay.
Yes, the other party becomes entitled to that property by virtue of being your spouse, and they will make contributions towards development of that property, whether monetary or non-monetary. And therefore, the law will then give them those rights, okay, those overriding interests in that property.
Another question, and this is the last one.
Yes.
What if it's a business property? Is it matrimonial?
Again, it is number one, contribution and intention. Okay, if I establish a business alone without the contribution of my spouse, then that is not a matrimonial property. But remember again, we say the bottom line is contribution. The funds I use may be my own, okay, but I have a spouse who supports me and contributes in other aspects of running our home or running our family. So yes, it's your own business, solely or individually, but there is an aspect of contribution that the court will determine what share or what percentage to give to the other spouse.
Thank you, Akili.
You are very welcome.
Something has come out very clearly in this video and even in the original video on Matrimonial Properties Act, and it's contribution and intention.
Yes.
Very, very critical. I think this matrimonial properties discussion you cannot miss the contribution aspect.
Yes, because as it is important for our viewers and customers to understand that contribution does not have to be monetary. There is monetary and non-monetary contribution. Yes.
Very important.
And it cuts both ways. You know,
Yeah.
most people assume it's only for wives.
Yeah.
Yeah, even for men. Yeah. Yeah, I have seen instances where the wife acquires property alone, and then the court will give the husband a percentage of it,
Yeah.
notwithstanding that the husband made no monetary contribution. Yeah.
Very, very important. Thank you so much, Wakili.
You are welcome.
For enlightening us and our viewers. Thank you so much, viewers. We have come to the end of today's episode of Real Estate in Kenya. See you in our next video.
Thank you very much.